Welcome back, babes. I hope you've got your wine or your coffee, your tea or your eye mask. Today's going to be a heavy one. Just a trigger warning at the start here. We are going to be discussing someone who took their own life. My sister took their own life and I'm not sad about it. And my husband won't stop begging for forgiveness. So I, 28 female, have been with my husband, 30 male, for 9 years and married for 2. Me and my sister, 26 female, were never really close, but we did hate each other. Anyways, I've been suspicious of my husband cheating on me for a while and went through his phone while he was asleep. I saw a text on a texting app that he has on his phone that read, "I really do love you and the love that we make, but I'm tired of being your little secret. This has been going for far too long and you need to tell her or I will." My heart dropped. I woke my husband up screaming at him and showed him the text. He admitted to everything. He just started crying and telling me that the text came from my sister and they've been sleeping together since the night before our wedding. He then said she begged him not to marry me and told her no because he loved me, and they had sex for the first time that night. And the second time was on her 25th birthday 3 months later. She threw a party and we both attended. He went to use the bathroom as she followed him and seduced him and he couldn't stop himself. And then came back to the party like nothing happened. And they continued to have sex any time they could ever since. He told me the story through sobs and I couldn't stop crying and screaming. How could he have done this to me? Why with my sister? I broke stuff in the house, even went full on waiting to exhale and burned his clothes on the grill. He begged and pleaded that it'll never happen again and that he'll cut her off and we can move away from everyone and start over, just us. And I spit in his face and told him that I hated him and never wanted to see him again. I went to my parents' house that night and told them everything. They didn't believe me at first. He called me and I put him on speakerphone so when he confessed they could hear him. He confessed to them and begged and pleaded, and my parents believed everything. The next day, my sister came to my parents' house. She saw me crying on the couch and asked me what was wrong. And I just snapped. I didn't say a word, just beat her ass. She had a black eye and I knocked out one of her teeth. My dad broke us up and my mum slapped her hard across the face and started crying. Before I could tell her, I knew everything. My mum already spilled the beans and called her a whore and pushed her outside. She begged my mum to forgive her. Word spread around about what had happened fast. He wouldn't stop trying to win me back. He kept showing up to my job, followed me to the bank, popped up randomly in grocery stores, and even made a post on Facebook admitting to what he had done and expressed his love and guilt, and he accepted all the backlash he got. But I didn't care. I told him to go fuck himself. I guess he hasn't been seeing my sister since everything went down because a friend of mine sent me a screenshot of a post he made saying something like, "I can't believe this. For 2 years he held, kissed me, made love to me and made me feel like I was his world and just ghosted me like that the last 2 years didn't happen. Why is this happening to me? Why can't you just answer the phone? Why don't you love me anymore?" I guess people put 2 and 2 together and she got a lot of backlash, and it wasn't too long before her post was deleted along with her Facebook. I was pissed this bitch got a lot of nerve crying about my husband, and I drove to her apartment and tried to get her to open the door, but she called the police on me, so I left. She had to quit her job because her co-workers found out and shunned her. She had no more friends because they didn't trust her, and my parents refused to speak to her or acknowledge her. Last Monday on the 16th, I got a call saying my sister was dead and that she took her own life. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't want her to die, but I could care less about her well-being at the same time. We just got her note and she explained how she felt so guilty for falling in love with my husband and betrayed me. But she couldn't help her feelings for him. She said she can't continue to live this way knowing everyone hates her, and especially me. And she knows she shouldn't feel this way because I was the one that was betrayed. I don't believe it. I think the real reason she did it is because he didn't want her anymore. I know my sister, and when she falls hard. Picture Cassie from Euphoria. Besides, since everything came to light, she would text him begging him to talk to her and sending him voicemails about how she needs him and to talk to her or she'll unalive herself. My husband sent me a screenshot of every time she texts, even let me listen to the voicemails. I don't plan on going to her funeral. I don't plan on letting my parents hear that voice message because they're already a huge wreck. They won't bother me about not going, and they understand why. They will be paying for the funeral arrangements. As far as my husband, I still love him so deeply, but I hate him at the same time. Part of me wants to try and work it out just to spite that unalive bitch, and the other part has morals. I can't picture my life without him, but every time I see him, I picture her with him. And I refuse to live the rest of my life torturing myself just like that. Just needed to get this off my chest since she just passed, so I can't really talk to anyone in real world about this. There's an update. I'm going to answer some questions because people are being really nasty towards me or simply not comprehending what I wrote and how I wrote it. Point 1. Why aren't you angry with your husband? Why did he get off so easily? Answer. I am angry with him. I burned his clothes. I even spit in his face. And that is the most disrespectful thing you can do to a person. Was it wrong? Yes. But I did it. Plus, I'm 5'7", 140 pounds to his 6'3", 230 pounds. It's not physically possible for me to kick his ass the way I did with my sister, who is the same height and weight as me. Also, he did receive a lot of backlash, but he chose to accept the backlash he got and he faced it head on. Most of his backlash came from people that I know and love me. A lot of his male friends didn't shun him because, I don't know, they're men, I guess. His friends could care less that he slept with my sister. I do still love him. And love doesn't just go away after 9 years of being together because of a heartbreak. But I will be divorcing him. Point 2. You and your family have been abusing your sister for years because you assaulted her and your mum slapped her. Response. This one really got to me. No, my parents were never abusive towards my sister. We never got spanked or any of that sort growing up. My mother slapping my sister was the first time she's ever laid her hands on anyone. Was it wrong? Yes, but talking about my mother like she's the devil incarnate for one slap to the face for an unforgivable act is nowhere near as bad as what she had done to me. Yeah, I attacked her because, like I said in a comment, I reacted with a fit of rage. I saw red and only red, hence why I spit in my husband's face. It was wrong to attack her, and it certainly wasn't my proudest moment. I'm not a violent person, but I did choose violence because I've never experienced hurt or betrayal that severe in that exact moment, and I thought with all of my emotions and not logic. I do feel bad for attacking her, and if I could change it, I would, but I can't. Point 3. You drove your sister to unalive herself by bullying her, and why did the community shun her but not your husband? I didn't make this clear in my post, but I did not once bash or bully her online. The most I did was attack her in my parents' home. I was not behind the backlash she received for her actions. Did I try to stop the backlash? No, I didn't. I knew it was going on and I didn't care to stop it or defend her. I was not going to defend her for sleeping with my husband. I thought she should deal with the consequences of her actions. I guess the real reason for that, even I can't admit, is because women are always the first to get slut-shamed. If you sleep with your sister's husband, you're a whore. If a man sleeps with his wife's sister, then he's a cheating asshole. I hate double standards as much as the next person, but people will always act on them whether you like it or not. And no, she never tried to text or reach out to me to explain why she did it or apologise, which is the main reason I didn't believe the note. Point 4. You went to her apartment. What were you going to do if she opened the door? Response. I know what I would not have done. I had no intentions on attacking her physically again. I did that already. But I did have questions. I wanted to know why, how long, what was he not telling me that she can? I asked all these questions on the outside of the door, but I don't blame her for not opening the door because I wasn't knocking softly or asking my questions in a very nice tone. Once again, I had no intention on assaulting her again. Wow, babes, that was heavy. There are some betrayals so deep they don't just break your heart, but they fracture your entire understanding of love, family, trust, and who you thought your safe people were. A husband's affair is devastating. A sister standing beside you at your wedding while secretly sleeping with your husband is a wound with a different kind of blade. And when the person who caused the wound is suddenly gone forever, people expect grief to arrive in a neat little black dress. But real grief is messy. Sometimes it comes as tears. Sometimes it comes as anger. Sometimes it comes as numb silence where you wonder why you can't feel anything at all. The truth no one wants to say out loud is that two things can exist at once. You can be devastated that someone chose to end their life, and you can still be devastated by what they did to yours. Compassion does not erase accountability. Accountability does not erase humanity. As for your husband, OP, love is not a punishment you hand out at your sister's memory. And forgiveness is not a debt that you owe a man who spent years choosing betrayal. Never make a lifelong decision just because someone else lost the chance to make theirs. Choose what allows you to look yourself in the mirror 10 years from now and say, I protect my peace. Some people spend a lifetime learning that the people who break us are often the people we love the most. The healing comes when you stop asking, how could they do this to me? And start asking, how do I become whole after it? Not every broken thing can be glued back together. Some things are meant to be laid to rest, thanked for the lessons, and left behind. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from the fire instead of trying to rescue the people who handed you the matches. Love, Miss B.